Good morning, children. I think you understood the last class, our human respiratory system. Today, we are going to study the transportation in human beings. See, have you heard about the transportation system in human beings? Which organ is responsible for that? The blood is the main transporting fluid in our body. The blood transports food, oxygen and waste materials from our body. See, in the last class, that means in the standard 9, you studied that blood is a fluid and it is a connective tissue. Blood is a fluid and it is known as the connective tissue. You studied about the different types of tissues in standard 9. So now we are going to study more detail about our blood. So the blood consists of the fluid medium, that is the plasma. Plasma is the fluid medium in the blood in which the cells are suspended. See, the plasma transport food, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste in the dissolved form. See, the food taken by our body, then the waste material carbon dioxide and the nitrogenous waste. Everything is transported by the blood. Oxygen is carried by the red blood cells, RBC, that is the red blood corpuscles, and there is the red pigment known as the hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin carries the oxygen. Then many other substances like salt are also transported by the blood. We thus need a pumping organ to push blood around the body and a network of tubes to reach all the tissues and a system in place to ensure this network. Can you say what is this organ? A pumping organ in our body, that is our heart. Where is the heart situated? See, the heart, it is situated, can you say, it is situated in the thoracic cavity. Thoracic means above our stomach, that is known as the thoracic cavity. See, the heart is a muscular organ which is big as our fist. See, there are 4 chambers in the human heart, that is the 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. Because both oxygen and carbon dioxide have to be transported by the blood, the heart have different chambers to prevent the mixing of oxygen rich blood and carbon dioxide rich blood. Understood? See, the oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood should not be mixed. See, the oxygen carrying blood, that is pure. Then the deoxygenated blood that contains carbon dioxide and it is impure, and this should not be mixed. So that in our heart there are 4 chambers to prevent the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. So the carbon dioxide blood has to reach the lungs for the carbon dioxide to be removed. See, in the last class you studied the respiratory system and we studied the exchange of gases takes place in the lungs. So the carbon dioxide, that is the waste material in our body, that should be removed to the lungs and it is carried by the blood. And the oxygenated blood from the lungs has to be brought back to the heart. The heart is applying the oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. I think you understood. See, the oxygenated blood should be taken from the heart and the deoxygenated blood from all the parts of our body should reach the lungs to purify. See, the heart and the lungs, they are working together in a condition. That means the oxygenated blood is taken from the lungs to the heart and the deoxygenated blood reaches the lungs. Anyway, all these processes are done by our fluid network, that is the blood, and it is carried by the blood vessels. See, we can follow the process step by step. How this process is taking place in our body? First, I told you that there are 4 chambers in our heart, that is the 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. You understand the term auricles and 2 ventricles. That is the right auricle, the left auricle, then the right ventricle and the left ventricle. See, the oxygen-rich blood from the lungs comes to the thin wall upper chamber of the heart on the left atrium. See the auricle, another name, that is the atrium. Auricle has another name, that is the atrium. See the oxygenated blood that reaches the left side of the heart. That is useful to keep the separation. There is a separation there. The oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood should not be mixed. So the oxygen-rich blood from the lungs comes to the upper chamber of the heart on the left side. The blood is first reaching the left atrium. That means first I said the word term auricle. See, the term atrium is there. So the blood first reaches the left atrium. The left atrium relaxes when it collects the blood. See, the oxygenated blood comes first to the left atrium. First, the blood is coming to the left atrium. When the blood reaches there, this atrium relaxes. That is the first step there. Then, see, the left atrium relaxes when it collects the blood, then it contracts. While the next chamber, left ventricle, expands so that the blood is transferred to it. The left atrium collects the blood and the left atrium relaxes, then it contracts. Contracts means churunga. Then the blood reaches the next chamber, that is the left ventricle. See, from here the blood is reaching the left ventricle. So you understand the first step. I think the oxygenated blood reaches first the left atrium, then it reaches the left ventricle. Then the next point is when the muscular left ventricle contracts, in turn the blood is pumped out to the body. So today you studied that the heart has 4 chambers and the heart is of the pumping organ, and the 4 chambers are the left atrium, right atrium, left ventricle and the right ventricle. Then the oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood should not be mixed, and there is a separation in the heart. First the blood reaches, the oxygenated blood reaches the left atrium, and from the left atrium it moves to the left ventricle. Thank you.